I can bring up advanced statistics, final records, individual accolades, and more to prove my point. But most basketball fans already know all that. Today, we're going to talk about the aura of Michael Jordan. Many of these stories have been forgotten by the casual fan, but not true basketball nerds like myself. Today, we're going to talk about 4 crazy MJ stories that showcase why he's regarded as the greatest to ever do it by a lot of the basketball fandom. The basketball world was incredibly different back in 1984. The game itself was played differently. The NBA was in its infancy as a global cultural force, and the NBA players were not allowed to play for Team USA in the Olympics. At the time, only collegiate athletes were allowed to participate in those games. It wasn't until 1989 when the International Basketball Federation started allowing professional players to represent their respective nations in order to promote a higher level of competition. The first Olympic basketball team to field NBA talent was the famous 1992 Dream Team, which featured Hall of Fame legends such as Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, John Stockton, Karl Malone, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, David Robinson, Chris Mullins, and college star Christian Laettner. Back in 1984, many of these players were still in college or had just been drafted into the NBA, including an iconic 6'6" guard from North Carolina, one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Team USA at the time, led by renowned coach Bobby Knight, played in 8 scrimmages with NBA All-Stars to prepare for the Olympics. Now this was meant to be an overkill because no amateur Olympic team should have been able to rival top tier NBA talent and push the college kids and help them learn a thing or two from the established professionals. These professionals represented what many called the golden age of basketball. These players included Magic Johnson, Kevin McCall, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Bill Walton, Clyde Drexler, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish, James Worthy, Larry Nance, Michael Cooper, and more. Team USA wasn't supposed to win, except they did, repeatedly, without mercy, without stopping to think about what had just transpired. And keep in mind, these wasn't just laid back scrimmages or sad exhibitions without defense like the current NBA All-Star games. They were playoff game speed, full throttle, up and down physical basketball games with Team NBA not holding back at all. But MJ, in his classic Jordan fashion, clowned them, humiliated, and asserted his dominance during the scrimmages before playing a single game for the Chicago Bulls. Coach Knight had praise of the highest order for Jordan, describing him as an all-time great as a 21-year-old prospect. Michael nearly doubled the leading scorer of the Team NBA in many of these games, and it was clear the chosen one had arrived. Now this story is about a 50-year-old Michael beating a rookie first-round pick Michael Kidd Gilchrist in a game of one-on-one. One-on-one basketball is a lost art in the realm of the sport's professional ventures. It's one of the most popular ways the sport is played, but the NBA has no event to showcase the best displays of one-on-one basketball. However, NBA players, coaches, and fans all acknowledge that nothing honed individual skills more than a high-intensity game speed in one-on-one matches. It's a test of skill, endurance, and most importantly, will. Now, if you aren't aware, Jordan used to instigate these one-on-one rivalries to motivate himself and showcase his prowess. Even the late great Kobe Bryant modeled his Mamba mentality after Jordan's unbreakable assassin-like mentality towards the game. This killer has been demonstrated by Jordan time and time again throughout his career, but especially on February 10th, 2013. A mere week before Jordan's 50th birthday, fresh off starting in the NCAA championship run at Kentucky, Charlotte Hornets rookie first-round pick Michael Kidd Gilchrist had the opportunity to play one of his idols, as Jordan is the majority owner of that team. Unfortunately, there's no video of the game, but Kidd Gilchrist has repeatedly said that Jordan won, and that he would not take it easy on his boss. Now this one-on-one match made serious headlines and had people speculating if MJ would make a second return to the league at the age of 50. While this did not happen, the fact that a 50-year-old was still able to compete with a peak athletic talent and even be considered for a return is insane, and it speaks to the greatness of his airness. Jordan's competitiveness is famous, and his mentality towards the game and life has transcended the sport itself. I mean, the guy was even caught cheating in a game of cards with an old woman that had no stakes. Additionally, there's an anecdote that describes when MJ had a ping pong table delivered to his room during the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, just so he could practice and beat fellow Dream Team teammate Christian Laettner, who just happened to be skilled in ping pong. It seems as time goes on, more stories are uncovered that authenticate Jordan's unique will to win, but the most recent and quite frankly funny example of this occurred during Michael's flight basketball camp in 2013. All-star point guard Chris Paul made a bet with Jordan in front of all the present campers, saying if Jordan missed 3 shots in a game of around the world, the kids will get free shoes. He made every shot, included a free throw where Paul attempted to block his vision with his hand. MJ even offered the kids a chance for redemption, saying that if Paul could do the same, they would still get free shoes. Paul missed 1 shot at the end, and that was that. You don't challenge MJ, even at the age of 53. Now, what is the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody when you're playing a game of basketball? Cross someone up, make them fall, taunt them, emphatically block their shot. All are disrespectful and are crowd pleasers, but one of Jordan's most demoralizing competitive tactics was the mental mind game he'll play with his opponents by telling them what he's going to do on the court and in secrets, following through while they watch helplessly. We all know about the shot. This was when Jordan drained a serious winning jump shot over Craig Ehlo in the first round of the 1989 Eastern Conference playoffs. But did you know that Ehlo was also made to be a victim of the Great One for a second time? On March 28, 1990, Jordan scored a career-high 69 points on 62% shooting from the field against Ehlo and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the damage didn't end there. He didn't just score on the Cavaliers, he just told them where, when, and how he was going to score on them. His exact words was, "Listen, man, I'm hitting everything, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do this time and see if you can stop it," MJ told Ehlo. "You know you can't stop this. You know you can't stop this. You can't guard me." Then MJ derailed exactly what he was going to do in saying, "I'm going to catch it on the left elbow and then I'm going to drive it to the left, to the baseline, and then I'm going to pull up and shoot my feet away." The rest is history.